video is a request from Ijoma Mumbubebu from Kent in England. And Ijoma wanted me to talk about using dynamics from Toybox and introducing them to the young beginner. I think the first thing we need to talk about are how dynamics are produced. And there are very many ways of producing dynamics, but basically it's a mechanical thing, and it is the speed of the key. So I like to begin with my young pupils with the piano lid and allowing them to see how speed of descent will alter the sound. So if I let my heavy arm drop, I'll get a loud sound. If I drop it a little bit, use a little bit of muscle, I'll drop it a little slower, less and slower. So the slower the speed of descent, the softer the sound. And basically it's the same for the key. Now I'm going to begin with Train Set from Toybox, because Train Set has an inbuilt dynamic increaser. We start with a nice slow steady action on E and F, single notes, and then they progress to 2 sets, and the fact that we have to retake the hand energizes it and increases the dynamic. And then when we go to 3, we are much more energized and the speed has increased, and that's inbuilt crescendo into the piece. So the piece starts slowly and softly and gets faster and louder, like the train. When we come to the whistle at the end, there's no point in playing that softly, because you're not going to hear it. So we have to think about the train and that very, very loud, vibrant whistle at the end. Now I'm going to talk about a soft and a loud piece just over the page here, Water Wheel and Jumbo. So Water Wheel is about trickling water. It's a very gentle piece. So we don't want to think about playing it loudly, because that doesn't make any sense. So if we imagine the subject matter and think about the soft trickling of the water. That helps to control the physical movements as well. Then on the other extreme we have Jumbo, and it is of course about an elephant. And elephants are very large and heavy. Water Wheel was high on the piano, and that helps create a soft sound. Jumbo's right at the bottom, so we have a heavy sound, and the opening bars are marked staccato, which also helps energize and give a loud quality to the sound. And now I'd like to just look at the end of Ballerina, because there's a little decrescendo in it. And that is done by, in this case, not really slowing up, but just slowing the speed of the key descent. So I'll play the end of this, and it's not a loud piece. It's a fairly soft, delicate and dainty piece. So just a little slower each time as we produce that decrescendo, and also we are going higher on the piano as well, which helps produce the sound as well. And now I'm going to look again at another loud and a soft piece, Mobile and Xylophone. Mobile is about one of those baby mobiles that hang over a crib, and usually you can wind them up and it will play very soft, tinkly music. So this one is going to put the baby to sleep. So we want to think about it being very soft and caressing. that would not make sense to play it loudly. So the subject matter is very important in creating the physical response. Now, a xylophone is quite different, and what we have are your right and your left hand are the two mallets playing the xylophone, and they're quite bright. And why not end soft if you like. Now, there are not a lot of dynamic markings in Toy Box because it is a beginner book, but please do feel free to add your own and enhance the pieces in any way that you like. Now, Snowstorm is really a silent piece, because if you shake one of those snow globes or snowstorms and all the little white bits swirl around, you don't actually hear anything. So it's a very, very quiet piece. And what we're trying to do is create the swirling, and you'll hear that, and that's created by the pedal. You can hear the swirling. And then shake it a little bit more energetically. And then they start to settle. And the last few flakes. So the last piece I'm going to talk about is Tin Soldier. And Tin Soldier is left, right, we're marching on parade, soldiers have big boots, and this is not a quiet piece. And again, the energy and the staccato will help create the strong dynamic. A little bit less here. And back. And less. And back. And we end up with the sergeant shouting at ease. So there we have different ways of approaching the pieces by thinking about what the pieces are about, what their subject matter is, to help create the physical responses to produce the dynamics. So we go from the extreme of the silent piece to the sergeant major.